Hey y'all, how you doing today? Dana here, and I'm popping in with a really good meal to feed yourself, your hubby, especially kids. Kids love this meal. This will be one of your new go-to meals. I promise, after you try it one time, your grandkids, your kids are gonna love this. It's called Polynesian Steak. Polynesian Steak. I've been making this since my kids were little bitty. And the first time I made it, I was very unsure if they would eat it or not. And oh my goodness, they loved it. So it became part of our regular menu. Polynesian steak can be found in my book, Happiness is Homemade, on page 58. Polynesian steak, page 58. You can get my book on Amazon. You can make this yourself and see if you like it. Now y'all, my ebook right now is having a huge sale. So if you want to get this on your device, you can have it on your phone. So if you're at a meeting or something, or you're getting your car fixed and you're waiting, you can pick out a recipe and pull it right up on your phone. Get the ebook. Even if you got the book, get the ebook. All right, let's start cooking. Let me tell you what's in this Polynesian steak. You're gonna need some kind of meat that's chopped up into bite sizes. Now I told you kids would like this, and they like the bite size of this. Now I have beef tips right here, but you can also use round steak. This is gonna cook for an hour on top of the stove. So you can do a tough cut like round steak if you want to, or you could do beef tips. But anyway, you need 1.5 pounds, so that's what I've got here. You're gonna need some melted butter. We're gonna use 1/4 cup of melted butter. We're gonna use 1/2 cup of flour. We're gonna use salt. And then we're gonna season it with some curry powder. Y'all, this is called Polynesian, and some paprika. We're gonna season it with that. And then we're also gonna need milk and ketchup. Now y'all look, I'm telling y'all this is good. I please hope you'll try it, because you're gonna love it. So this is the base of what we're gonna do. And when you serve this up, the reason kids love it so much is it's quite a pleasant surprise from the usual things that we have. You're gonna serve this up with condiments. You're gonna chop up some pecans. You're gonna have some pineapple, some mandarin oranges, banana, and coconut. And you're gonna put those out and let everybody just sprinkle it over the top. And of course you're gonna serve it over rice. So I'm telling y'all, this is a good meal. I hope you'll give it a try. So I'm melting 1/2 stick of butter here, which is 4 tablespoons on my stovetop. Now y'all, this pan is like having a stovetop. So I've got it over medium right now. And then we're going to take 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Whoops, I spilled a little bit of that. Did y'all see that? Let me not do quite all of it. Okay, got it. It's always an adventure in the kitchen, don't y'all think? I think life's an adventure. One of my mottos is, life is an adventure. You never know what's gonna happen next. Do y'all feel that way? All right, we're gonna put this flour in here, and that's 1/2 cup, along with the salt. Y'all, this is so easy. I'm telling y'all, it's easy to get started, and you don't have to do too much to it. You gotta put it in there and let it cook. So anyway, we're gonna get this all battered that you use on the oven to do something like this. Did y'all see my earring fall out? Look at that. I bought these little earrings because they're lightweight and they match the shirt, but that one will not stay in. It goes rogue on me all the time. I need to put something in it to hold it still. Y'all see how nice and coated it is? And this is just some beef and some flour and some salt. And we're gonna cook it in some butter. This is how much butter we got. And I'm gonna put this in there and get it started. We wanna brown it. And I'm gonna do a test piece right now. And you know, this is what I was taught to do by family. You know, you wanna know how hot it is, and you don't have a thermometer. You just pop one in there and you see if it's hot enough yet. Now this one's not even starting to sizzle. So I'm gonna turn mine up just a little. And when it starts sizzling, I'll add all the meat in and we'll get it brown. All right, I'm adding these in. A good quality pan makes a big difference in your cooking, I can tell you, because I had it. I know. There was one time when, you know, you got that little set when you got married, and I was cooking out of it trying to make pancakes. Well, Lord help, I know how to make a pancake, and no matter what I did, that pan would not do me a decent pancake. And I finally, out of desperation, said, honey, I know money's short, because you know he was in law enforcement and I was taking care of the kids at home. I said, but I've got to have a decent pan. And so anyway, that's started my journey on, you know, I'm getting better quality cookware. And now I've got a lot of really good quality cookware, because you can tell the difference when you cook with good quality cookware. All right, now let this go a little bit, and I'll be back when I get it rocking and rolling, okay? Okay, we're rocking and rolling now, so I'm getting all the rest of it in here. I want y'all to see how good it's looking. All right, that's it. Okie dokie, okay? And what I'm doing back here is getting my little things ready that I'm gonna serve with this. Now, when you got little kids, you may wanna do, like this is the coconut, you may wanna do something like this so you can pass it around, or either, and it, you know, their little hands can hold it, or either, of course, you might wanna do it yourself, depending on how big or little they are. And you're gonna need coconut, you're gonna need mandarin oranges, I've got that in here, chopped pecans. You're gonna love it. This is what I'm doing now. And see, that's just browning away. And remember, after I get that browned and flip it around a little bit, I will put the lid on it, turn it down on simmer, and let that go for an hour, because we want that stuff tender, tender, tender for our family. Especially if you got a tough cut of meat. These are beef hips, so they're gonna be fine, you know, but you do want to cook it long enough so that it's tender. We're gonna start getting it brown like this. See, browned meat. And then we're gonna flip it. It's gonna be good. Let me show y'all how good and brown we're getting this. Do y'all see that right there? We just gotta get it browned, and I'm about to stir it. And then, after we do, we're gonna put the lid on it, turn it down on simmer, and come back every so often and give it a little stir and check on it, but we're gonna keep it cooking for an hour. Okay, so let me get this stirred. Oh my goodness, y'all. And remember, I'm cooking this in butter. It's gonna be good. Get some browning on the different sides. Y'all are gonna love me for this. Turn it down on simmer. Simmer, there we go. Get my lid. All right, and I'll come in and check it every so often. Make sure life is good. It's time for us to move on to the next step. And this is what it looks like. And you can see we got some bits on the bottom of the pan, but y'all leave them in there, because when we pour in the milk, it's gonna help make the gravy. Okay, the next thing we got to do is pour in the milk. Gradually stir in the milk. Then we're gonna add the seasonings after that. And when you do, if you've ever made gravy before anything, you know what happens when you stir in the milk and you start getting those bits up off the bottom. There we go. Let me just get it on in there. Ooh, move this over here. Okay, let's stir, stir, stir. And you can see all that. You're gonna have a great and wonderful gravy before too much longer. I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little to get it warmer, maybe back up to medium. And then I'm gonna add what comes next. And that happens to be the seasonings and the ketchup. You're gonna need 3 tablespoons of ketchup. So I'm gonna go ahead and eyeball this in here. And when I first said, oh, ketchup, I don't know about that. Now, if it makes you uncomfortable to eyeball stuff, you can measure it. That's about 2 right there. Let's do 1 more. Okay, and y'all, that ketchup's gonna make, your kids are gonna like it, and it gives it a good little tang in there. Keeps it from just being gravy. Then you're gonna do a dash of paprika. Now, what is a dash to you and me might be 2 different things, so I did several dashes. Then we're going to add some curry. So let me take this off. We can add between 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of curry. Now, I don't know how you roll on curry, but I like a lot of curry, so I'm gonna probably put the whole thing in there. But if you're just starting and you don't know how your family's gonna do with the curry, start with half a teaspoon. Okay, there we go. That smells so good. Now, if you'll see, I'm starting to bubble down here, so I'm gonna turn this back down just a smidge and start stirring this around. Can y'all see that? The curry gives it a beautiful color. Of course, we got the red of the ketchup and the yellow golden from the curry, and all of those little sticky bits on the bottom are coming up now. And basically, we're just making a sauce with the meat in the pan. We didn't even have to take the meat out. So anyway, that's what we're doing right now. Oh, that smells so good. Your family's gonna love this. So it's getting thick. I'm gonna turn the heat down now. Turn it back down to simmer. The only thing next to it we gotta do now is taste it. I need to know if my sauce is good, so I just got a little sauce on there. That is so good. I'm gonna add a smidge of salt. I'll just do a few little, it doesn't need much. Little bit of salt. This is what it is gonna look like. Look at that. That is delicious. And now I'm gonna plate it up. Okay, y'all, I've got me some rice that's cooked in seasonings, you know, in chicken broth. So there's the rice. And now I'm ready to plate this up. So I'm gonna put a big helping of my gravy and the meat right on top. Look at that. It looks good so far, but now we're gonna doll it up some. And I'll tell you what I always put on it is all kinds of different fruit. And like I said, the kids love it. So I'm gonna start with some pineapple. Let's doll that up a little bit. I'm just gonna get in there with my fingers, y'all, because this is mine. Okay, we got some pineapple. That pineapple gives it such a refreshing little bit of flavor. Then I'm gonna put on mandarin oranges. Y'all, these are from the cans. Mandarin oranges. We're gonna put on a few of these bananas. Few slices of bananas, and whatever your kids or you don't like, you just leave off. So everybody can basically individualize theirs just a little bit if they want to. And then I'm gonna put a banana right in the middle, and then here goes some coconut. And here goes some nuts right over the top. These are pecans. Okay. This right here is my Polynesian steak. Look how beautiful that is. Look. And your family's gonna love it. I'm telling you, they're gonna love it. Take my word for it. Would not steer you wrong. But right now, I've got to get in there and get me a little bite. I'm gonna get me a little bit of pineapple, some rice, some of that meat right there, and nut and coconut. Y'all ready? This is so good. I'm just looking to see which is my next bite. Get me a little bit of banana with that. Oh, that makes so good. Let me get one more bite. I'm gonna take this one more really delicious bite for you. And it's got the meat, and it's got the coconut and the pecans. Y'all, that meat's good, I'm telling you. This is so delicious. Here's your bite. Well, I can't stop eating it, so I need to put it down, don't I? Good stuff. And remember, y'all, it's in my book on page 58. And y'all need to get that book if you don't have it yet. And remember, the ebook's on sale for $9.99. Go get you one. Even if you got the hard copy, go get you the other one. You have it on your phone. All right, y'all, I'm going to tell you what I always tell you. The good Lord loves you, and I love you too. Y'all go have a really good day. Make your family some Polynesian steak. They'll love it. Bye.